All right, no point in longevity if your life's not working. Just finished Peter Attia's book, Outlive. This is a great book. You should probably check it out. Now, Peter himself clearly has been through some challenges and got heavily addicted into overwork and perfectionism, very common in the medical profession. But as he's gone along with this study of longevity, or medicine 3.0 as he calls it, one of the clear things, and this is the topic of the last chapter and the epilogue, is the importance of emotional health. This is a higher level than mental health. If your emotional health is poor, then you will end up with mental health problems. And he goes on to say that a lot of our addiction problems and unhappiness problems are actually an emotional health problem. And that being able to manage this is critical, because even if you can live well, that your heart is strong, your mind is sharp, that your body still has strength, that you can do the things that you want to do. But if your life is unhappy, if it has no purpose, then what is the point? And he goes on to say that the work required for this was significant for him. He ended up in like two, I suppose retreat kind of experiences for 4 weeks, working on traumas and difficulties, so things that just continue to be there in his life, driving him from an unconscious place, but causing devastation in his family. And this is happening every day. Every day. It's like, well, what is required for emotional health? What is required for relationships to work? What is required for my life to work? Now, this has been something that, so I didn't really know what I was getting into, but for me, it came through the context of growing up. And I was having some drinks after work last Friday, and one of the colleagues that I've known for a very long time, she turned to me and said, "You know what, Tom, there is a maturity in you that I have not seen before." And I was like, well, thank you for that. Haven't seen her for a couple of months, maybe out to even a year. And that was I was like, okay, that was a very wonderful compliment. I've been working a lot for years. And for me, it came through this idea of growing up. What is it to grow up? Well, it is to see the world as a man, and then from a boy to a man, to a warrior, to a king, to see the world differently. Each of these 4 phases, the boy sees the world very differently from a man. And a man sees the world very different from a warrior, and a warrior sees the world very differently from a king. But the king has to be emotionally responsible, emotionally aware, physically healthy, emotionally strong, emotionally aware, and perhaps even at a higher level, spiritually aware. And this has come through. If you have been on a path of self-development, then eventually the spiritual aspect kicks in. I just am coming to the end of a 2-day recording. I wasn't able to go to the event, but it's called Soul Purpose Intensive. And it looks at 4 categories: passions and gifts, roles and rules, to create a statement at the end. And this was very powerful. Cozzy, come here. Coz, come on. Coz. I tell you, yesterday we had this giant rat appear. I'm like, oh my God. I was getting my shirt and I was like, what's that lump? And I shake it and out comes this rat. I'm like, oh my God. Living on property in rural is wild. Anyway, so perhaps this rat's around. I got to get the baiting people. Come and fix that up. Anyway, went through the Soul Purpose Intensive, came up with a statement. I am a spiritual warrior king, and I stand for the healing of hearts to hear the voice of God. I was like, damn, that was pretty cool. 2 days, I spread it out because of my time commitments, but this is the sort of spiritual awareness that comes from showing up and doing the work. Been through lots of experiences, workshops and intensives and weekend trainings, and showing up to ongoing sitting with groups of men or sitting with groups of people to work out kinks and things that aren't working in my life. And over time, I've discovered that life gets better if you do the work. For the last 4 years, I've been doing a thing called stacking, and it forces emotional awareness. Here's a problem. What are the facts about it? What do I feel about it? What am I going to do about it? Over and over and over and over. Now, the software, one time I didn't complete one. I started it, but then flew over the international date line. And by the time I completed it, the day had passed and they reset it. And I was like, damn, I had like a 1,107 day streak. It's fairly consistent. It's like, oh, every day you show up and you do a stack, yeah, and it tracks it. So this emotional awareness, though, is critical. That my ability to be aware of my emotions, to know what they are, to know what they're telling me, to use them effectively for getting things done or to take warnings on, to be able to look at what's real in my life, what are the facts. Like that in itself is a growing up. The boy doesn't want to know what's real and what's not. Why? Because it's painful to look at some of the stuff in my life. It's painful to look at some of the stuff in your life, and it's much easier to hide. No, that's not happening. That's not real. But in fact, it is. Telling the truth is an art form. And the quickest way to know whether someone tells the truth, ask them if they tell the truth. Are you a liar? And those that are aware that they tell the truth will say the most curious thing. Say, yeah, I'm a liar. And I know this. I lie to myself. I lie to myself about what I want, what I'm willing to do. But I've become better at it in terms of, no, the truth is this. The truth is this. And life works a whole lot better when you are committed to telling the truth. It enables you to know where you are. And whether that is amazing and awesome or whether that is terrible doesn't really matter. What matters is your ability to say, yeah, this is real for me. This is real for me. And in that, then life can get better. Because if you're willing to own what is right now, whether that's, hey, I fucked up as a doctor today, or I made a mistake today, or my relationship's not working, or my kids are having difficulty, or I'm fat, or I'm drinking, or I'm doing this, I got a gambling problem, I got this, and this. The first step is to own it and recognize that there is a problem. And in that allows you to set a new direction and say, you know what? This isn't working, and I'm going to create a new reality for myself. And this expansion over time, over and over and over and over, this has led to a life that it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Currently sitting outside on my house, we're looking out over the macadamia farm. Life's pretty good. There are a lot of people suffering at the moment. And the way out of that can be very difficult to find. But I'm going to suggest that it begins with a commitment to tell the truth. This is real for me. This is how I feel about it. This is why it's relevant to my life, and giving you then the opportunity to create some new results for yourself. That's all I got for you. We've got a lamb roast coming. My eldest son's just been dropped to work. He's got a 4-hour shift. My kids are at home. It's a good day. So just wanted to share with you that it takes work, but it is possible to create a life that works. And it's done through consistent application of learning about yourself, telling the truth, becoming clear on what you want, and then doing the work required. And when you do that, then the possibility for a life that you wake up and go, wow, that's awesome. I am so grateful for the things that I have created, that I've worked with others, and it's phenomenal. Life's the strangest thing, brutally difficult at times, and over here, also amazing possibilities. We get to choose. All right, that's all I got for you. I'm going to go and unload the dishwasher, load it up, get on top of that, and look forward to catching you very soon.